Hey everybody. Hello, hello. We are back at, okay, we got to get both people in the monitor here. I have a special guest today. Malik, you look good. Okay, first of all, let's just start with the usual stuff. My name's Andrew Champlain. I am the producer of this show. And I'm here with my line producer, Steven, my monitor guy, Kevin, and my executive producer, Jordan Mitchell. Thank you so much, Jordan. What we have going on today is we are about 2 months from town meeting. What's the actual date of town meeting, Malik?
March 5th.
Okay. Now, let me just do a little bit of stuff first of all. This is the monthly show about Democratic politics on Town Meeting TV. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I'd like to thank everyone for helping me, Ms. Lauren Glendavidian, Emily, Megan O'Rourke, the new director. These are very kind people. And obviously, with Town Meeting TV, you're going to get the best coverage. You're going to get the best coverage in the state of Vermont at Town Meetings TV. I am a member of the Democratic State Committee. I'm also assistant treasurer of the Burlington Dems. And I was calling my old pal Adam Roof today, and I said, I need a guest, man. I need a guest. Now, Adam comes on a lot. He's great. And I'd also like to thank Adam for the great job he did at the caucus. It was unbelievable, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah, no, it was great.
So he said, I'd like to put you on. Now, what is your last name? Is it Miles?
Mines.
Mines.
M-I-N-E-S. Yeah.
Okay. He said, I'd like to have a fantastic new candidate from Ward 3 come on, and his name is Malik Mines, a young guy. And I said, hey, there he is. Now, maybe we can put his name underneath. Is that possible, Kevin? Do we have that name? Okay. There you go.
Oh.
That looks good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Why don't you take a screenshot? Okay, we'll take a screenshot of that at the end so you have it. You can send that to your mom or your pops or whoever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So after 12 years of being a really pretty excellent mayor, I think, really fantastic, I was fortunate enough to swear him in for a second term. Moreau Weinberger is not running again. He's exploring some new options. I know he's thinking about possibly running for governor. I'd also like to see him down in Washington doing some good work in the Biden-Harris administration right here. But so what we're doing is we have 8 city council elections, and in 3 now do we have an incumbent or no? We don't, right?
No, we don't.
What happened to that person? Joe McGee didn't run again.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Okay, Malik. You now tell everybody where you live. What street do you live on?
So I live on Allen Street, right across from the Old North End Community Center.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Right in the heart of the Old North End.
Yep.
Now, okay. One thing before we get into all this is, for 25 years I was in Ward 2. I am now in Ward 3. Basically, North Street is the divider. Is that correct, Malik? Now.
I believe North Street is, it used to extend further past that, and then the recent ward updates changed it. Okay. See, what has to happen with the wards is that they have to be within 10% of all 8 wards have to be within 10% population of each other. We're going to do the wards real quick. Ward 1 is Mater Christi School. Ward 2 is H.O. Wheeler School. Ward 3 is the Lawrence Barnes School. Sustainability Academy, is that what they mostly call it? Yes.
Okay. Ward 4 is St. Mark's Church. It kind of heads up to the new North End. If you're on the left side of North Avenue, you vote at St. Mark's Church. If you're on the right side of the avenue, you vote at Goss Senior Center. Okay, then we head back to the South End. Ward 5 is Edmonds School, and that's where we had our caucus. Mm-hmm. Ward 6 is Bede Burlington Electric. No, I'm sorry, not Ward 6. Yes, Ward 6 is Burlington Electric, and then Ward 8 with my great friend Hannah King is Fletcher Free Library. So you've got those all 8 wards. Your ward, if you live in the Old North End, your ward might have changed. But what's going to happen for this election is all ballots will be mailed, okay? They'll be mailed right around Valentine's Day. You'll get them around between February 13th, February 17th, somewhere around there. Now, let's say you don't get your ballot. You've moved. You lost it. It got recycled. You changed your mind. The dog ate it. It blew out the window. I mean, all these things happen. You can vote early at City Hall for several weeks. That will start around February. That will start right around Valentine's Day, okay? And that's very important. So, you know, if someone's out of town or they're doing something, they're going skiing, they're in college, they're on a road trip, they have to go somewhere, they can vote. Now, let's say you don't have a ballot or you hadn't get one. And let's say you're not even registered. You can go to your polling place on Election Day, register and vote right then and there, which is amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Also, non-citizens may vote this time, which is going to be great. Non-citizens cannot, I hate to be a buzzkill here, non-citizens cannot vote in, they cannot vote in state, county, or national elections. But they can vote on ballot questions, they can vote for inspectors of elections, they can vote for justices of the peace, they can vote for city council, and they can vote for mayor. Malik, so we had an open seat. Joe McGee has left. He did a good job. He's a big-time prog. Hey, buddy, Joe. We worked together on Senator Welch's campaign, which was fantastic. Joe is a great advance man and just a good dude. He is now the campaign manager for, will be our Democratic opponent, which is Emma Mulvaney-Stanek. Joe, thanks a lot. We sense an open seat here. So, Malik, tell us a little about yourself. How you came to be in Burlington? Did you grow up here? Tell them your story, man.
Yeah, so I grew up in Philly. I guess to start from so I grew up in Philly, and I guess to start...
you grew up in Philadelphia?
Philadelphia, yeah. In and out of the foster care system until I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
I was adopted and then spent a lot of my life just bouncing from school to school, and then...
It sounds like it was tough.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really realize that until after you're out of that environment about how tough it actually was.
And how about your adopted parents? They were good folks?
It was just one person.
Okay.
And yeah, she was amazing.
Okay.
She did
well, let's say her name and thank her, okay?
Yeah, well, Aunt Gwen, thank you very much.
Okay.
And,
you'll be able to send her a link to this so
yeah.
she can see it.
Yeah, she's really proud, so.
Gwen, I'm inviting you up here to help campaign with your son, okay? And I'd love to meet you. We'll go door to door. We'll meet everybody. That'll be killer. Get you out of Philly for the weekend. Come up to beautiful Burlington. So, how did you go from, it's funny about Philadelphia. I was just reading an article in the paper, and this kind of broke my heart. I grew up in Hartford, which is a poor city. Philadelphia is the poorest big city in America.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Now, this will go into a question that we're going to talk about in Burlington, but unfortunately, and I'm not talking about cannabis, okay? I smoke pot, all right? I'm not talking about pot. Pot is legal. Pot is not killing anyone. We're talking about fentanyl. We're talking about crystal meth. We're talking about crack cocaine. There's an epidemic of that in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. I grew up right in the heart of that, too.
Is that Kensington?
Kensington, yeah. So I grew up at Kensington, Allegheny, G Street.
Allegheny Ave.
Specifically, yeah. I do have to say, though, growing up, it wasn't as bad as it was currently. You would notice every now and then, you would hear about, the murder rate in Philly and, that being, pretty bad, but it wasn't until a few years ago when I took a trip down and I was driving through my own neighborhood that I really started to notice a difference because...
It was much more open-air drug market, right?
It was, fires on the side of the streets for people to keep warm, open-air drug dealing, open-air drug use. My favorite library, which was a really...
Open-air intravenous use in front of kids and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just sad to see that the library that was there too was also just being used and needles were tossed around. And again, just the crime that was going on was something that...
Having to hustle up money every day is got to be a rough deal. Now, Okay, hey, I'm 60 years old. We partied, okay? We partied. My generation partied. Yeah. I got busted for pot. I had cops put guns to my head for pot, okay? So, but the one thing I have to say is I see these people downtown, no one looks very happy. It looks like it's a terrible, terrible buzz. And, I'm reminded of, what people used to say, jail, institution, or death. And it just seems awfully sad. Now, we're going to come back to that because that's going to be a big focus of this show.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you're kind of on your own in Philly. You got someone watching out for you, Gwen.
Yep.
Where are you going to high school? Are you going to school in Philly, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so I went to school in Philly. I spent a lot of my time, between 3rd grade and 8th grade at Catholic school. And then in Philly, there's a lot of school choice, so it was like
a lot
time
of charter
to...
schools too, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a choice of either going to the neighborhood school or applying to a charter school or to a private school. My neighborhood school was probably the worst school in the nation at the time, so...
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to say the worst in my neighborhood, or the worst in Philly, or the worst in Pennsylvania.
No, it was honestly the worst in the nation, and NBC Nightly News did a report on it. Wow. My sister had gone to school there, and I knew for a fact that, that's not what I wanted to do.
Now, okay, let's talk about the high rate of unemployment, drug addiction, dropping out of school for adopted kids.
Yeah.
They seem to get involved in the whole, police situation, and the odds are really against them. What can we do to help adopted kids in Vermont? What can anyone watching this do if they're interested in helping a kid? Or it sounds like without your adopted mother, I'm not sure you'd be up here talking to me today. You'd probably just be working in Philly, right? Going to community college or something?
If it wasn't for a lot of people, I wouldn't be here at all. Even the decision to go to college, I was not thinking about that at the time when it was 12th grade because it was sort of life or death at that time. And you got to think, am I going to go to college or am I going to go flip burgers at McDonald's to support myself? And at the time, people were getting accepted into college, and then I had to think critically about it. Okay, it's time for me to make a decision. I can either stay here in Philly and live within these cycles, or I can leave.
Bust a move.
Yeah, and I chose to get out. My
friend, I always think of that song by Bruce Springsteen, City of Ruins. I just want to say for the record, Philly, when Philly's good, Philly's friggin' amazing.
It's amazing. I love visiting. Yeah, the great parts of Philly are great.
Oh my
God. But the bad parts are sad. And I wish I can do what I can to help back there, but now.
So now tell us about your academic stuff. Where did you go?
For high school or college?
Okay, so it sounds like high school, you went to a great charter school in Philly. Why don't you say the name of that? We'll bust that out.
So it actually doesn't exist anymore. It shut down recently, and again.
Why is that? Money?
It's always 50-50 when it comes to charter schools. You either have a really great one or a really bad one, and it just sucks that a really great one ended up being shut down. That I don't know why.
That's something we're going to talk about. I think there's going to be some charter schools in Burlington. Okay, so it's a bit chaotic for you, man.
Just in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I didn't really reflect on it until after I got to Burlington. So the story goes...
You had some good friends down there, and your sister.
Yeah, so I had some really good friends, homies.
Okay.
And they're all going to college, and I knew that once they're all gone, then all I have left is family. And I talked to my college advisor. They put me on track. We took a trip up here to Champlain. I didn't even know Vermont existed at the time. But once I got here...
You just heard about it, knew it was in New England, that was it?
It was just something, it was state capitals, and Maine, and then Vermont, Montpelier. So it was something that wasn't on my mind ever. I didn't think of New England. We only knew Philly and Jersey.
I just want to say Champlain College is a really great school. I think we might go till, how much time do we have if I choose, Stephen? What do we have for time today? Anyone here? Okay. I thought someone was out in the camera. All right, we're going to keep talking. We might.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you want to go.
Well, what time? So let's go till 6 o'clock, okay?
Yeah.
That's 20 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started this show nice and loose and easy.
Yeah.
I always do a little bit of COVID wrap. COVID is not gone. If you have questions, the state has a toll-free number to help you. It's called 211. My buddy Kevin usually puts that up. If you have not been vaccinated, please get vaccinated. How are you doing with your COVID shots? Good?
Doing great.
Okay. Now, we see in a city like Philly got decimated, where everyone's tight and close. You have a lot of older people. Not, a lot of the housing stock is old. The ventilation wasn't great. How many hundreds of thousands of people died in Pennsylvania? I shuddered. I don't know.
Yeah.
We lost some good people up here. So 211, if you have some questions. Let's say, hey, it's pretty cold today. Let's say you're having some problems with your heat. Let's say you're having problems getting a job. Let's say you're having problems just with everything. Maybe you're having, I'll tell you, it was the last couple of weeks were dark mornings, dark afternoon, and dark night. It was about 24 hours of darkness. And that can be hard, especially if you're alone. The holidays, everyone's like, oh, the holidays, the greatest time of the year. They can be great or they can be terrible. If you're alone, the holidays are tough. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're always trying to watch out. 211, if you need 3 squares, which is the old food stamps program, you need to talk to someone. Hey, let's say you have a little bit of a medical condition, you can go over to Community Health, which is an unbelievable resource, which I need more people taking advantage of. So your counselor, smart person, they must have said, hey, this kid, he's going to do better with a smaller school, and maybe get out of the city. So you came, I'll tell you, that's one of the nicest parts of Burlington over there by the college.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I mean, we came in the dead of winter, and again, driving through and up through New England and up past New York.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I swear that the driver took like the longest route ever to get here.
Takes a long time.
We stopped at every McDonald's on the way. Once we got here, I was not dressed appropriately.
Long johns, right?
I was wearing jeans and
not even a hat or anything.
Yeah, running shoes. Yeah, like Philly in winter, like the winter in Philly isn't nothing compared to here.
No.
So we got here. We took a tour.
Boy,
of
is
campus.
it hot in the summer though?
Good Lord, yeah, it's
Yeah. So you took okay. Now to just move things forward.
Yeah.
That campus is one of the prettiest campuses in New England.
It's gorgeous.
Dr. Finney was able to implement the beautiful hill section of the school of the town. It doesn't, you don't see where academia and houses meet. It really fits well. Mm-hmm. And that lake view is pretty nice, isn't it?
Yep.
So you came up there, that wonderful cafeteria, the great programs.
Yep.
And you know what's funny about Champlain is years and years ago, they started that major where they're doing gaming. And I remember, I'm 60 years old, so I remember thinking, gaming major? Is that like Frisbee major or tie-dyeing or something? And I realized that is like really helping the college. I didn't grow up playing games, but thank you, Kevin, my executive producer, tuning up everything for me. We've done this show for about 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah. You're going to come on after you're elected, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So you started Champlain. You move up there. Now, do you start in the summer or you start in the fall? What do you do?
Started in fall, jumped right into it.
Your roommate nice?
Our rooming is great. We're still friends to this day.
Hey!
Yeah, we ended up rooming for...
I love it. I love it.
It's awesome. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Tom, are you registered to vote?
Tom lives in D.C. now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask Tom, because you're going to send this to everyone. You're going to get this from Kevin. Tom, I'm hoping you're going to come up for a weekend and go knock doors with Malik and I. Okay? All hands on deck.
All hands, yeah.
Okay.
Come join.
So you're at Champlain College. You're like, it's a hard school, too. Did you feel like you were set up academically for it? Like the math, I always, no.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, no.
You really had to grind it.
Yeah, the level at which I was at compared to a lot of my fellow peers was completely different.
Some of those kids are crazy whip smart.
They are, and it wasn't that. It's not that I wasn't smart. It's just that the coursework.
You didn't have the proper. Now that's something we should talk about in schools in urban areas. Is, for example, UVM sophomore class is 67% female. It's terrible. My friend, this whole generation within COVID, these young males, or let's be correct, people who maybe don't identify with labels, are sitting college out. Mm-hmm. And I always think, you're in Burlington, I always tell people you can start with a cheap class at CCV, and you don't have to, look, if you love math, don't take Latin 5, okay? If you love engineering, don't take History 10. Take what you like. Take a class you like. Now, what was your major? What are you? Are you a liberal arts guy? I'm guessing.
Secondary education and history.
Teacher.
Yeah. So yeah,
Great.
my time up here, I was a preschool teacher for about 6 years, and then I ended up running after-school programs for the school district.
Wow.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah, about 6 years.
So you're at Champlain. Now, what year did you graduate?
So I attended it until 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are, how old are you? 27,
28.
Excellent. To be 20s in Burlington is really great, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So let's thank Champlain for, we've been joking around a little bit, but that's a damn good school. They really watch out for the kids there. The advisors are, if you're screwing up, they're going to find out. They're going to talk to you if you're unhappy. They keep working on new programs. I think that school is an amazing school.
Yep.
And so you graduated. Now, tell everybody, Malik, what you have to do in Vermont if you want to be a teacher. What do you do for like a certificate? So you have an undergrad in education, is that correct?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your question? How to become a teacher?
So yeah, how do you go from, what was your major that you graduated with?
I was a secondary education major.
Okay.
Yeah.
So had you done some classroom teaching beforehand in your senior year or anything there?
No, so the way that it works at Champlain, so I work at UVM now too, so I actually work in the Department of Ed, and we help with students going through matriculation to actually become teachers now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, over at the College of Education and Social Services.
Okay.
So I work with the Director of Educating Licensure and the Director of Community Collaboration. So there's a lot that goes into becoming a student teacher, into even becoming a teacher in Vermont. Vermont
you have to be, do they make it hard or easy?
It's as hard as you want to make it to that point, but like it has its challenges, as does any major.
Okay.
There's a lot of benchmarks that students have to reach, and there's a lot of compassion that has to go along the way too for these students as well, because again, it is really hard because you are like 20, 22, and you're in the classroom.
Be honest, you're a kid.
Yeah.
Now, I knew a lady, she's still alive, she's 98 years old, Mimi. She graduated, there's a Johnson State College, which does a lot of education. She graduated in 1945, and she taught, just by herself, at age 22, a one-room schoolhouse. There's still a couple one-room schoolhouses left in New Hampshire and Vermont.
Wow.
Yeah. So I always think about, it's a pretty mucky, crummy day out today, but we're in Burlington. We could walk downtown in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
What about if you're out in Newport? What if you're out in Randolph? Like, what I'm seeing, and I feel that Governor Scott is missing, is that the rural poverty you don't see it. But I work with a lot of people at the fair in the summer, and I talk to a lot of rural people, and they're really having some tough times. We're going to have to get back to the drug thing because it seems to be pervasive through urban, country, all sorts of different, old, young.
Yeah.
And it's really threatening in our country.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, Malik, we have 11 minutes left, so we're going to stick with brass tacks Ward 3 issues all the way through.
Yes.
Okay. We know we cannot arrest our way out of this, man.
Not at all.
If we arrest everyone who's getting high, there'll be more people inside than out, almost.
Yeah.
We know. I saw this really banged up guy this summer basically injecting in front of these school kids walking by, and I kind of walked by and they didn't see. But so what do you do? What do you do? As I said, I've been arrested for smoking pot, but now like no one is being arrested. And where do we go with criminality? Where do we go with health? I think you've got to favor health over criminality.
You got to favor humanity over all of that first, though, because you still have to recognize that these people are human, and that.
Thank you for saying that.
Like they have fallen on hard times, and like there's just predators who prey on them, and it sucks to me to like see this happen like within like a community that I chose to move to, and like it wasn't as prevalent as it was now. And then for people to just lose the compassion throughout all of it, and like again, like online on the forums, and people who are talking about it are just rude, and it does nothing to help.
There's a little bit. I'd like to see a little more helping and a little less complaining.
Yes, exactly.
I will tell you, if, let's say a kid's maybe 8, 10 years old now, if they're 18 and we lose that generation to this stuff,
yeah,
we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Let's talk about, I'd like to see more treatment centers on North Street. I think you got to be I think you have to be where the people are. I'm also waiting for the first, Swahili-speaking policeman, Bosnian-speaking policeman.
Yes.
Maybe someone speaks Spanish. My friend, I believe something like 64 languages are spoken at BHS. Is that correct?
Yep.
What do you think? We got to get BHS up, back and going, right?
Oh, yeah. And soon.
The kids are doing such a good job down there.
They are.
They like being downtown. It's fun being
they're
downtown.
Really resilient too, and I think they really like, again, just having that access once the school bell rings and just go out and like, it's so nice to just see them like sitting in coffee shops and just like doing their homework either before or after like classes, and it's also really nice to just see them like out and about and having fun. So,
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Now, you next week will start pretty much door knocking 6 nights a week, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to walk around with you. Adam's going to walk around with you. If someone is not registered to vote, okay, we have 8 minutes. This is very important though. Okay, I live on Green Street. My ballot is going to be sent to me on Green Street. But let's say a lot of students, they move June to June.
Yep.
So that ballot is not going to follow them. They're not going to get the ballot. The ballot's going to be sent back to the city. City's going to say, hey, they're not living there anymore, and put a challenge on them. So if you have moved, we got some voter information, voter registration, volunteer. Kevin, thank you so much. These guys are so nice, aren't they?
No, that's great, yeah.
You can go to City Hall and register to vote. You can call me. We'll put up my number. You can call Malik. Now, do you know how to register voters, or I'm going to teach you? I'll teach you.
Let's go through it.
Yeah. Okay, here's the most important thing. In a lot of conservative states, if you don't have Vermont identification, like in Texas, if you don't have a Texas ID, they won't let you vote. Anytime they minimize letting people vote, it's racism, classism, sexism. They're just a freedism because you are not like them. So, in Vermont, we can register with the last 4 digits of the social, okay? We don't want your full social, okay? If you have a driver's license or a non-driver's ID, we need that number, but if you don't. So, if you are going to, this is very important, anyone going to Champlain, UVM, CCV, St. Mike's, you can vote in town meeting day, okay? Now, for example, the kids at St. Mike's, you go all the way down to Colchester to vote. Champlain College, you would vote at Edmonds School. And then the UVM, there's several wards where the kids will vote.
Yep.
Let's talk about retaining our young people. More people are dying than are being born in Vermont, and we're losing our young people. For example, like Philly lost you, okay? I'm not saying you won't go back to live, but the brain drain, what are we doing? We know the winter's hard up here. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not a lot of money. What are we doing to keep? Now, I will tell you, I hope as a member of City Council, you will be down in Montpelier lobbying our state reps to get some more funding for University of Vermont.
Yeah.
It's very important. They are sometimes a good neighbor. They pay absolutely nothing in tax, less than zero. They also are not housing enough students. Now that is affecting Ward 3. Your rents are, now one of the reasons that Joe said he couldn't run, he said, I'm not sure, I might have trouble finding a pad.
Yeah.
Now how's your rent? Is it expensive?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place, and I'm happy to be like where I am. It's just really small.
Full disclosure, I have a wonderful, wonderful landlord.
Yeah.
Okay? And this knee-jerk, the landlords are all terrible. That's not the case. Being a landlord is not easy in Vermont. I think you know that. But your rent's expensive. You paying about $1,000, something like that?
Closer to $2K. It's a studio apartment. I mean, you guys can come
Is
in
it
and
just
have
by
a tour.
yourself?
No, but you guys can come in and have a tour if you want of my apartment and see like the condition that it's in. It's really good, but however, it's really tiny.
Studio.
It's a studio, and it's 1,600 plus utilities.
You can partition it off a little bit so you have a little space.
It is partitioned pretty well though, but it's just like, again, there's no living area. It's, like you work like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes even more, because I had a part-time job on Church Street, and it's still just like, I do all of this for what? And I think that sentiment, yeah, exactly. And that sentiment is probably felt by a lot of UVM students and people who are like discouraged to stay here. Housing.
You really need to make about $25 an hour, don't you?
Or more, yeah, or more.
Let's talk about UVM.
Yeah.
I dinged them a little bit there on the housing and stuff, but I don't know what we'd do without them. They're amazing. They're amazing. How are the people you're working with?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, we got
they care, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We need you. UVM, I love you, but I need you to pay some tax, and I need you to build some more dorms. The thing is about, okay, we got the lake on one side, we have UVM on the other side, we have the Intervale on the other. We're going to have to go up, right? If we're going to build?
We're going to have to maybe look to other townships as well, too, and like seeing what they're doing. Okay. I think housing is probably an issue across a lot of townships, too.
I know it's an issue everywhere.
It is, and like I noticed that St. Albans is like developing their downtown district and developing more housing there.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to respectfully thank everyone, and you're going to take it the last 3 minutes. Give them your name. Spell your name. Tell them how to reach you, and take it out. You have till 6 o'clock, and you did a great show, Malik. Proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure. It feels like I'm talking to myself.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, Malik Mines. I'm running for Ward 3 City Council. You guys can vote for me on town meeting day. I really love Burlington. It's become my home, and I hope to stay here for a long time and represent you guys for a long time after town meeting day. Please reach out to me if you guys have any questions at all about where I stand on housing, where I stand on the drug crisis, where I stand out on the environment. I'm truly here to listen and to hopefully bring change to Burlington. So, yeah. You can reach me at vote@malikmines.com. I believe that takes you right to my email, and I can respond to you. You can also just catch me walking around town as well, too. Please stop me on the street and come talk to me.
I had to come back. I'm sorry. But town meeting, the election is Tuesday, March 5th. Okay, the polling place for Malik will be the Lawrence Barnes School, 120 North Street. That's the Sustainability Academy. If you'd like to vote early, you can vote at City Hall. You will all be sent a ballot. If you are not registered, you can register and vote same day. And we're back up. So 2 more minutes. Just stress that. Again, how to reach you, and you're going to be walking around. Do you have a campaign, man? You want to talk a little about your campaign real quick? You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, the campaign is going nice and strong. I got a lot of supporters right now, and I feel really happy as like a first-time candidate who's running. Once again, I didn't see myself running until most recently and working in the school districts. So I do hope to do this for all of the residents of Ward 3, families, seniors, college students, and everyone of every background. Thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you guys pretty soon.